Bickley and Marana mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Kevin Durant's popularity peaked 11 years ago with an iconic MVP speech he dedicated to his mother. His game peaked a few years later with a pair of rings and sensational finals performances. And now the basketball world awaits his next stop and his final chapter in a Hall of Fame career. But understand this, there might not be a happy ending for KD, and the same applies to a generation of stars just like him. The guys who led the player empowerment era, the ones who switched teams and cities, chasing rings, looking to play with friends and coaches of their choosing, focusing solely on their individual desires. There is a price to pay for that unbearable lightness of being, and sadly, KD will likely not have that hometown city that claims him and adores him and cherishes him when it's all over. He will not have that city that reveres him for what he did for their fandom and that city's self-esteem. LeBron will deal with this as well on a different level. He'll always be the king of Akron, having delivered a title to Cleveland, but he's voluntarily left an organization 3 different times, and in LA, they revere Tupac and Kobe, not LeBron, because LeBron's connection to LA is superficial, not soulful, and Los Angelinos know it. Both LeBron and KD will surely take solace in their money and their place in the GOAT rankings, but those are just mythical titles and meaningless legacy talk, especially when an athlete has no real place to call home. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Is that like his contemporaries, LeBron and Steph, KD has not significantly slowed down. Plus, he's younger than both of them, 6 months younger than Curry, almost 4 years younger than James. So now I'm hearing there are teams like, say, the Knicks, who reportedly think they're better off without this guy? To quote Mark Twain again, get your facts first. Then you can distort them as you please.
That's Mike Greenberg from ESPN giving his thoughts. The thesis there. Kevin Durant has not slowed down. There are people that believe that. There are other people like George Sedano, who is also from ESPN. He was on with Burns and Gambo this week, who said this.
Honestly, I know you said they're going to make their best deal, and look, they should. But they may be waiting a while, because I think that teams are pretty steadfast in believing that a 37-year-old player, when the season starts, even as great as him, is no longer the player he once was. He's probably more of like a top 20-ish player as opposed to a top 10 player.
And then in the middle of that, we heard sound from Tim Legler this week who said, yeah, Kevin Durant works in a good situation for him. And it needs the right infrastructure, which I think right now, if I had to pick a lane of those 3 lanes to pick, I'm picking that one. We know the guy can score. He's one of the best ever to do it. How much does he influence winning? Or how much does he influence the other way?
Yeah. Well, listen, I think that really is up for debate. I think relevant to what I tried to express in the blast, in ways I feel bad for KD, because the athletes that stay in one place or stay in one place long enough or make it very, very clear that I am here to serve the city I'm playing for, I think the post-career rewards are very, very rich. And I think you're seeing guys like Larry Fitzgerald prove that right now. And KD's not going to have that. KD's not going to have that one city that goes, yep, that's our guy. Come home. We're going to love you forever.
It's true, because where he had the highest highs, I mean, you could argue individually the highest high was what you brought up in the blast, winning that MVP. That speech was very memorable. People still quote it to this day.
Yeah, it was incredible.
And it's one of the things that he's known for. His highest team highs mixed with individuality were in Golden State. He's never going to go down, in my opinion, as one of the greatest Golden State Warriors of all time, even though he won 2 finals MVPs. I wonder, too, to your original point about playing in the city, and there was a connection. And look, he played in a city, in Oklahoma City. They weren't located there when he was drafted. He was drafted to the Seattle Supersonics. If Seattle had never moved, would Kevin Durant have moved? I mean, it's a great question. It's very easy to say, actually, it's not easy at all. But had they never moved, that franchise trajectory remains the same, location aside.
Mm-hmm.
They're still with Russell Westbrook. They drafted Russell Westbrook right before they moved to Oklahoma City. They still get James Harden. They probably still go to the 2012 finals and probably still have that epic series with Golden State. All things remain the same. But at that point, you're that close to a championship in Seattle. Do you stay?
It's a great point.
Did he leave because it was Oklahoma City?
Had
to be part of it, right?
Listen, yeah, absolutely. And before I circle back to KD, what kind of spurred me along these lines is when you go to Los Angeles and you spend a little bit of time there, you see the shadow of Tupac and Kobe everywhere. There are murals, pop-up paint everywhere. Those two guys represent that city, not LeBron. So LeBron might want to say, hey, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm number one in history. He is not even number one to Lakers fans.
No.
In fact, you could put that on the poll right now. You could ask fans, who would you rank higher in the top 10 of the NBA rankings, Kobe and LeBron? Guarantee you Laker fans are going to vote for Kobe. Guarantee it. And it kind of spurred my thinking that LeBron is not all the moving around that LeBron does. There's going to be a price to be paid for that, and the same is true with KD. When KD came to Phoenix, my initial feeling was this is perfect for him. If he delivers a championship to us when we have never had one, and after that opening debut press conference / pep rally, I thought we can be that place for KD, and it didn't work.
No, I remember you saying it at the time. That represented the forever city for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good term. I wish I'd have used that in the blast. He doesn't have a forever city.
Or, as BA used to call it, his forever home.
Yeah, right. And I think athletes, especially the guys in the player empowerment movement, when they thought, oh, no, this is about me, Jack. This is about me. I'm doing me and I chill.
Yeah, let's fast forward. This is interesting. Let's fast forward 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw it a lot in the playoffs, especially when the Knicks were still around. We're seeing it with the Pacers, too. A lot of former Pacers in the crowd. Reggie Miller sitting front row with his Dale Davis jersey on.
Yeah.
Or his Rick Smits jersey on. Do you see Kevin Durant going to an Oklahoma City Thunder finals game in 20 years?
I could.
Phoenix Suns finals game?
No.
I could.
Or being celebrated for it?
20
time
years?
heals all wounds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Oklahoma City wounds might be healed.
I don't think those ever will, to be honest with you.
What about
I don't know.
The trajectory we're on and that Seattle gets their team back in the Sonics. Durant going to a Sonics game in 25 years. People will be like,
but he didn't have enough time in Seattle.
Yeah, that's true.
But that wasn't his fault.
No.
That wasn't his fault. It's just there is a price to be paid for the way modern day athletes have sort of cobbled together their careers based on what they want to do. I think it's going to affect James Harden, Paul George, there's any number of these guys that it's going to affect, and they won't know it until they retire. And the ones that do stick with the struggle and devote themselves to a fan base, they're the ones who get that rich reward at the end of it all. Mm-hmm. So it's a shame it couldn't have been here, because this would have been a great, great forever home for Kevin Durant.
And it also won't come into play either, because it's not like baseball where you pick a team to be displayed on your plaque at Cooperstown.
Exactly.
You don't have to do that for Springfield.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you had to? What would he pick? He'd have to pick Golden State, but Golden State, that whole thing is shrouded in controversy. There's a lot of people who look at his time in Golden State and go, ew, yuck.
Yeah.
Joining the team that you can't beat?
Think about the alternative. What if he never went to Golden State and he didn't have 2 rings and he didn't have 2 finals MVPs and still did all the moving around?
Yeah.
That's a fun, another 15 minutes eventually for forever home athletes in Arizona.
Yeah.
I think there's less than we think.
There's not many of them.
I know.
No, there's not many of them, but the ones we have are very, very special to us.
No doubt.
Shane Doan and Larry Fitzgerald.
Even though there's a good group of people, a good amount of people that think both of them messed up by not leaving when they had an opportunity to.
Yeah, that's funny.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.